Hi, and welcome to the Whalen Realty Show. I am your host, Joe McElfresh, and alongside me is Dawn Whalen, founder of this company. How are you doing today, Dawn?
I'm doing great, Joe. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
Fantastic.
Hey, this is our first episode, and right now we're going to explain to people why they should interview an agent before they choose.
It's important to interview an agent before you choose who you're working with because you want to know the person's personality. You want to see if there's a connection there. Sometimes just blindly picking someone off of a website doesn't always work. So if you sit down and interview, ask questions, ask expectations, set expectations.
So would you even do this if you were just looking to buy a home? Would you also interview?
Absolutely. There are some agents who work strictly with sellers, some work strictly with buyers, and I feel like you want someone who's well-rounded, who knows both sides of the transaction, because that'll help you better.
Okay. So what are some good sources where would you start? What would be a good starting point in that process?
I would ask my friends, family, coworkers if they have a recommendation. Generally, if they've worked with someone and had a good or a bad experience, they're going to tell you. Unfortunately, if we as humans mess up, we don't always put that out there. We're always saying how great we are. And, we're all human. We make mistakes, but you want to know and work with someone who has been referred to you by someone you know and trust.
Great. And some agents might even seem a little pushy. They might come on to you a little bit hard. Just step back and go to your interview process. Don't let that pressure get to you.
Yes.
Make sure you pick the right person. And what would you say another key thing into looking into when finding the right agent?
You want to set expectations. Explain to your agent, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I expect, this is how I want to communicate, and ask the agent the same thing. How do you want to communicate? People in this day and age communicate via phone, email, text, Facebook Messenger, all kinds of different ways. So find out what works for both of you and see if you can make it mesh.
Okay. Let's talk about interviews.
Yes.
Now, I know lots of people do phone interviews and face-to-face interviews.
Correct.
What's your opinion on doing an interview? And where would be an appropriate place to do that?
I prefer face-to-face interviews. If it's a seller, I'm happy to go to their home, do a quick walkthrough, initiate rapport with them. For a buyer, I try to get them to come into the office. Unfortunately, in the world we live in today, safety needs to be a priority. So if someone randomly calls you, you want them to come into the office. But I've also met people at Starbucks or McDonald's or wherever is comfortable for them to have a discussion.
So no matter if you're buying or selling, always find the agent that's going to keep your best interest in mind. And never go with the first one that just makes you feel like you have to use that person in particular.
Right.
And I really appreciate your time, Dawn, and I know that these folks do.
Thank you.
Kid of buying or selling a home, tag them in the comments below. And the first 10 people to do this, 10 people, you will get a free home evaluation by yours truly.
That's right. And you want Joe to do that for you. So start commenting, liking, tagging, sharing.